Welcome to the Hooch, where the only place more messed up than your hosts is the barracks on a Friday night or the VA. So get ready to stand by for your weekly dose of toilet humor and shenanigans from your fellow veterans, Coy Mack and Michael Grizzled Grunt Harris.
Good evening, everybody. You got Coy Mack here and the one, the only, Michael Harris.
What's going on this beautiful Sunday evening?
Right?
I know.
It has been a crazy week, I think. There's been a lot of things. One of the kind of big stories I think this week that are important is the Oceangate thing that leads into Hunter Biden. Russia, obviously, with its half a coup, like that lasted a day and a half, I guess. And then Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk are going to get into a cage match. So that's going to be fun to talk about. But before we get into that, I was on a bit of a nostalgia kick this week and thinking about commercials and how they used to be. And how some things are good that they're not the way they used to be, and then other ways is like it would have been nice if we still had that kind of nostalgia factor. So I've got a couple of selections of commercials through the decades that I would like to share with everybody. The first one is an advert from the 1950s where doctors enjoy smoking camels.
You know, if you were to follow a busy doctor as he makes his daily round of calls, you'd find yourself having a mighty busy time keeping up with him. Time out for many men of medicine usually means just long enough to enjoy a cigarette. And because they know what a pleasure it is to smoke a mild, good-tasting cigarette, they're particular about the brand they choose. In a repeated national survey, doctors in all branches of medicine, doctors in all parts of the country were asked, "What cigarette do you smoke, doctor?" Once again, the brand named most was Camel. Yes, according to this repeated nationwide survey, more doctors smoke Camels than any other
cigarette. Yeah.
Why not change to Camels for the next 30 days and see what a difference it makes in your smoking enjoyment? See how Camels agree with your throat. See how mild and good-tasting a cigarette can be.
She really looked like she was enjoying that cigarette.
I know, right?
Her face was
see how good it is for your throat.
She had that smile like...
Yeah, so I'm definitely glad we do not make advertisements like that anymore. So we probably shouldn't. I mean, it's good that we can't advertise cigarettes on commercials anymore. Like that was done with. It was funny the other day on the radio. They still have the big tobacco commercials from like the 90s. You remember those?
I like those.
Yeah, right. So they still have those playing, and I'm like thinking to myself, like, big tobacco hasn't been a thing since the 90s. Why don't you have big pharma things like adverts are saying, "Don't be careful, the big like pharma coming after you."
We need big tobacco for big pharma. We're helping them out. You know, I still remember that late night TV when we were kids, and TV used to pretty much just cut off. Not turn off, but I mean, there was nothing showing.
Yeah. Like, after a certain amount of time, it just shut off. Yeah.
After a certain amount of time, they play like the Star Spangled Banner, and then it'll show you the flag, and you knew the TV ended. I do that sometimes.
Into the TV day, yeah.
Yeah, if I know I'm going to bed soon, like I start to get tired, I'll actually go to YouTube and play that, and then go to bed. Not every night, but I do that sometimes.
You remember falling asleep and then leaving the TV on, and then when you woke up, it's like just the TV static. Like that's how you know how late it is. It's like past 3 a.m. and it's just like nothing.
Yeah. Now TV's like
then
Vegas.
The beep. Yeah.
Now it's like
exactly
24/7.
Exactly.
And
there was the beep.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's your kids? I forgot that I was gonna bring that one up. I should bring that up when I get to the 90s section. But here's another good advert that is absolutely offensive that I don't want to share with everybody. Poltergeist static. Yep, that was the one I'm talking about. But this is a Kool-Aid commercial that is absolutely offensive, and so I had to share it with everybody.
If you're easily offended, don't watch it.
The friendly kids in old Japan man rode rickshaws everywhere. But when the kids sat down to eat, they sure did miss their favorite treat. Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid. Wish we had some, can't wait. A story man who heard the kids then clapped his hands and said,
I'm actually drinking Kool-Aid right now.
I know, right?
Stand by, please, for big surprise. Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid, so great. Once you tried it, no can wait. Honorable Kool-Aid, the most refreshing, much loved by whole family. Father, mother, Japanese boy, Japanese girl, a package.
Whole family.
Cost only 20 yen, just 5 cents. With
Oh,
lots
man.
of ice. So nice.
the Kool-Aid kids are off again to visit other lands. Be sure to join them when they do.
Join them in some Kool-Aid too. Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid, so great. Once you tried it, no can wait.
Oh man, that is so
How come-
offensive.
You
It
know-
is
you notice
amazing.
Whenever you want to sing that part about Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid, you want to make this face like this.
Oh yeah, that's
It's just
that's
all
right.
about Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid is so great. Yeah, that's pretty bad. What is this?
This is the instant Folgers commercial. Warning for our women viewers. This is probably going to be offensive to you.
Oh, no.
What's wrong?
Oh, it's your coffee again. The desk sergeant at the station makes better coffee than this.
Ed, really?
Sorry, honey. But your coffee tastes terrible.
Mr. McGregor, please help me.
Carol, what's the matter?
My coffee. Ed says he gets better coffee at the police station.
Why not try new Instant Folgers?
Instant Folgers?
No, I said new Instant Folgers, Carol. Tastes good.
It's new.
Because it's made from fresh birch coffee. Then they actually turn that fresh birch coffee into new Instant Folgers.
Tastes good as fresh perked because it is. Fresh perked. Mr. McGregor, I'll
Perked.
try it.
Hey,
Perked for your pleasure.
Sarge never made coffee like this.
It's new Instant Folgers. Tastes good as fresh perked.
I like it better.
Try new Instant Folgers. Tastes good as fresh perked because
Because it is.
I mean, that was major world problems back then, man. Honey, the
Right.
coffee's not good enough. You know what I mean? That was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Back then in the household, she actually went to the store and got some new coffee.
It's true.
It's good times right there. Tradition.
It was. So Carol says that was before everybody was so sensitive. Yes,
Yeah.
I definitely so.
Let those fembots see that commercial. Play it in loop.
There's actually another one where it was similar to that one, but it was a guy and a girl, and he was like, "You make terrible coffee. The girls at the office make it better."
Yeah, you don't want to piss off the fembots.
I know it was
Yeah, you know.
awful, but it's funny. Like, I love these old commercials. It just shows you a different era. It's like looking through a time capsule, right, into the past and seeing what things were like. I mean, it's a hyperized version of the past, but it's still the past that we come from. So it's interesting to kind of look back and see this stuff.
I'm surprised those videos weren't affected by the Mandela effect.
Oh yeah, no,
You
for
know
sure
what I
on that
mean?
one.
Yeah, we have to look into that. Well, I'll have to see.
Why
Oh, my
does
year.
This one, oh, this one's hilarious, by the way.
It's my birth year right here, so hilariousness started in 1976.
No, I'm trying to. Why isn't it giving me the full screen option? Oh, whatever. We'll just do it.
Listen to Remco's Baby Laugh a Lot. You're listening to Baby Laugh a Lot. She's the funniest doll you've ever seen. Just push the button and she starts to giggle. Get Baby Laugh a Lot by Remco.
Okay, that is the most disturbing thing.
What?
Especially this section right here, where like the girls' heads look like they're about to snap.
Yeah, and
when they're turning them. Like this one. Like that, like poltergeist-esque, like craziness.
What year did Poltergeist come out?
Oh man, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe that's where they got their idea from, because that was terrifying.
It is
And
terrifying.
I'm glad I was born that year and didn't have that. But there was some scary stuff. That doll reminded me. I went to my aunt's house one time. I remember I was probably like 6 or 7, something like that. and she had this doll, like this giant doll that sat behind the door in one of the bedrooms, and that thing used to scare the crap out of me, man. Just staring at you.
What was with women collecting creepy dolls back in the day? Like, you know, like especially the porcelain ones. Not to call anybody out, I'm just saying, like, some of those dolls are really creepy.
Yeah, they were. You know? They were scary. They were real scary. They're just staring at you.
Especially, like, the clown ones. You ever see the clown ones?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
My aunt was into that, like, the clown porcelain dolls. She had a collection of them.
Yeah, my grandparents,
every time.
They didn't really have anything too creepy in the house. They did have this picture of... Never mind.
So now we're moving on. That was the 70s, and I'm moving on to the 80s and the decades of things. And this is going to bring up another topic I wanted to talk about today. This is a McDonald's commercial from the 80s.
Hungry in a hurry? Got a gang to feed? Yeah. Then pick up McDonald's Chicken McNuggets Super Value Pack. Looks like dinner to me. It's a really great deal of a meal. 24 McNuggets, 2 extra large orders of fries, and 2 large servings of Coke.
All in a handy carry-out box that's ready to go.
Just $7.49. The super convenient 24.
Wow. $7.49.
McDonald's, you make dinner easy.
It's a good time for the great taste
and value.
You know,
$7.49 for 3 meals.
Now you can't even get that at all. 20 nuggets cost you. Ooh, man, I don't even remember. I haven't ordered McDonald's in so long, but 20 nuggets ain't
I'll have
cheap.
to let's see what 20 McNuggets.
Today's Big Mac costs about what that value meal costs.
Yep.
One Big Mac.
Let's see what the cost is right now. Yeah, it just gives me the information, but
it's like $11, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something like that. It's over $10.
Yeah, that's crazy how cheap it was. I remember like my first time going to McDonald's, and that's when like the value meals are very simple. They had a hamburger, a cheeseburger, Big Mac, and fries and nuggets. And that was
the average price.
That was
so the average price is $7.25 for 20 piece. But it can go as high as 15. It just depends on the state.
But that's just for the 20 piece. That's not with drinks. That's not with fries.
Like, no, that's just, and that's supposed to be for 2 people.
Not available
for 2 people
after midnight. That's for people with the munchies. I can eat that to myself. 20 nuggets. Yeah, but it was a lot different back then, man. And food was cheaper. Even McDonald's tasted better back then. You know, I don't know what they're doing to it now.
I actually know the reason why the difference between McDonald's back in the 80s and 90s and now are so different. I can tell you exactly what it is.
Why?
Beef tallow. No, it was what they were frying it in.
Oh.
So back in the day, fry everything in beef tallow, right? Mm-hmm. And then they switched to vegetable oil. And that's why all the fries and all of the fried foods that you got from McDonald's got bad, is because back in the day they used to do it in beef fat, and now they only do it in vegetable oil.
Well, we should write them and be like, go back to beef fat. I don't even eat McDonald's. I don't eat
you should. It is actually better for you. So like all these vegetable oils are bad for your health. They're causing inflammation in your body. So like beef tallow is actually a better source of frying. So if you do fry, I mean, frying is unhealthy in itself, but if you are going to fry something, get some beef tallow. That's what I do. I get it at home, and it makes chef's kiss of a fried food, man.
I use lard
too. Like, but if you want to get like the pure beef, grass-fed beef tallow is amazing. It will take your frying experience to another level.
What's the smoke point on it? Is high?
No, it's low.
Low smoke point.
Yeah.
Huh. I gotta check it out.
It will when you're cooking with beef tallow, you have to do it at a lower temperature, like below medium. So it gives you a good fry, but it's not gonna burn your shit as you're doing it too.
I need to find some.
Because they changed everything in how they made it. Like I said, with the McDonald's, right? Food was better back then because they were doing it differently, and a lot of that stuff was fresh food. So you take McDonald's today, it tastes like cardboard. Anytime you go, it's like it's nothing. Same thing with Whataburger. Ever since they got bought by that freaking Chicago place, right? the quality of food went down every single time because they want cheaper products that they can maximize profit margins on. They're not caring about food.
Not In-N-Out. In-N-Out.
That's true. In-N-Out's still the same.
In-N-Out's still banging.
So I would say that, but yeah, do you know how much bologna is now? Like you think like back in the day, fried bologna, poor food, right? You were poor, you're stretching it thin, you had some fried bologna sandwiches, right? No, a regular pack of bologna that you would usually get, especially from Oscar Mayer, was like what, $2 back in the day? Yeah. It's $5 to $6 now for the same pack of bologna.
Just make your own.
Which is the same price and almost the same cost as like any turkey that you get, any other meat.
It'd be cheaper to make your own.
Oh, here's another one. I went to Petco today. Ferrets, about 10 years ago, cost about $99. Do you know what they were going for in Petco today?
How much?
$350 for a ferret.
Nah.
Yeah.
I don't need another pet.
I'm just saying, but it just shows the difference in what things used to cost and what they cost now, right? Oh, yeah. So you take bologna and a ferret. I don't know why those two things, but yeah, bologna and a ferret.
And it's crazy, you know, that old saying is like everything goes up, inflation, all prices of everything going up, but you know, minimum wage isn't really going up in most states. People's pay isn't going up, you know, and they just keep raising the price of everything, but people's pay is not matching it. So they keep you in a poorhouse, man, for a reason.
Yep, every single time. Here's another good one. Here we're into the 90s, so this will be
presenting the McDonald's 3-for-all. Just $3 for all this. The triple taste of a McDonald's triple cheeseburger, a large order of fries, and a medium Coke Classic. I can see you're amazed. Who wouldn't be? With a big, beefy triple cheeseburger, a large order of fries, and a medium Coke Classic, all for a mere $3. McDonald's 3-for-all. 3 big tastes. $3 little. But hurry, it'll be gone.
You can't even get that now.
What you want is what you get.
Now, does everybody know who that was?
Yeah, I do. Steve Carell.
Yeah, Steve Carell. That's his early days.
That was before he was famous. Yeah, for sure, dude.
Yeah.
Like I said, it just goes to show you like how much things have changed, right? They don't even have the dollar menu anymore, right?
No, and
that's what we're living through.
That was the reason. The dollar menu was here within the last at least 5, 6 years, 7 years, maybe. Maybe
they do not.
Yeah,
Carol bringing the heat tonight, just saying all the right things.
Yeah, they don't have the triple cheeseburger. That's why I don't eat that crap. I'm staying away from McDonald's. I'm staying away from burger. I'm staying away from all that fat. I might, dibble.
It's not good for you, obviously, but it just
a little Marco's pizza every once in a while. But outside of that, no.
But it just goes to show you, it's like all those things we used to enjoy, just like nothing. I want to go back before everything sucked. Like I'm tired of all of the historical events that keep happening every single week. It seems like, or every day, especially in the 20s right now. Like this timeline and this time period, like all this stuff keeps happening. I'm like, can I just have a break? Like just 5 years of nothing happening, just be boring, and all we talk about is like what's going on in the Super Bowl. Like that's it. I just want like game day talk. I don't want any of this other nonsense I have to talk about. Just like boring. I want it to be boring. Yeah.
Yeah, like back in the day, you turned on the news. Well, today a little dog named Susie won the local,
exactly
the local dog park fair or whatever. Yes, Marco's is the best, but. You talked about different timelines. I really think, man, timelines crossed, and
the Bernstein Bears became the Bernsteins.
Yeah, something happened. Something happened because we're not stupid. We're not seeing things. We know what we saw. We know what we read.
I'm gonna give you a nostalgic feeling right now. If you remember this guy.
Oh yeah, that's what's his name.
Which one do I really want? Mellow Yellow or Mountain Dew?
I haven't seen him in a long time.
I know, right?
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Oh, 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4.
He played in all the Ernest movies.
Yeah, it's Ernest.
Why use all that mathematical, analytical analysis? I'll just pick the one I like the best. Make the mellow yellow move. Know what I mean?
Mellow yellow.
Mellow yellow.
Mountain Dew.
Right. Dude, I forgot about Mellow Yellow.
Yeah, I remember Mellow Yellow. Yeah.
Yay, Vern. Yep.
Yay, Vern. That's good stuff.
Here's something you'll never unsee. So Jim Varney looks like freaking what's his face? Crap. Why did I forget his name? No. He's a wrestler.
What was his name? Error.
No. He plays Peacemaker in now. God, why did I forget his name? John Cena. Shit, that's what it was.
Okay.
John Cena.
Yeah,
John Cena. He looks like John Cena. John Cena looks like Ernest now as he gets older.
Yeah, that is.
It's so crazy, man. Here's another nostalgic commercial for you. And it'll be stuck in your head now after I play it.
I remember.
It doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Fresh goes better. Mentos freshness. Fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life.
Mentos, the fresh maker.
Mentos. That commercial was so edgy. How she ripped the heels off and just threw them away and walked off like I did something.
I got this. I am boss babe.
Oh, I really care about your heels. I want you to talk about the Mentos and why that's the only flavor that was available back then.
I know, right? They got the fruit flavors now. Here's another great nostalgic one for you. Is when Godzilla came out in the late 90s. Free tacos.
Godzilla's hiding, and it's up to you to find him.
Petunia, that's you.
Just buy a medium or larger drink. If you find Godzilla, use your decoder to reveal what you've won.
I remember this.
I think I need a bigger box.
I love it, man. I love it.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I remember those commercials, dude.
I remember when Godzilla. I remember that first one. It sucked. Now that you look back on it, you're like, ooh.
Oh yeah, no, it was a terrible movie, but
horrible.
I love the Taco Bell commercials that came out of it, though.
Oh yeah,
like,
yo quiero Taco Bell
for sure. Like I said, I miss the days when things were just kind of boring. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we just need to get rid of all this technology for about 6 months and just live the simple life and ride our bikes and, you know,
be 80s and 90s kids again.
Yeah, have family dinners and everybody sit at the table. We don't do that no more. You know, you sit up, wake up, watch Saturday morning cartoons. And I mean, kids don't do that no more. The good days, man.
My wife had a great idea. She wanted to do a place called a cereal bar. Have you ever seen one of those before? A cereal bar?
Mm-hmm.
One of those, but we would play Saturday morning cartoons and you go to your table and it wouldn't be a table. It would be like a makeshift living room that you would sit down and watch Saturday morning cartoons on a big tube TV.
I dig it.
And one of those things, it would be like a lounge / like cereal bar. You go in there, you sit down, you watch your Saturday morning cartoons. It'd be amazing.
And you get extra points for coming in pajamas with the footies.
Right. Or you get it, I would say get it for free, but then I'd run out of cereal because everybody would be dressed in pajamas just to get free shit.
You know, you get a free bowl. You get a half a bowl free.
That's true. Yeah, Carol's like I said, Carol's giving the good points tonight.
Yeah, we're afraid of humor nowadays because everyone's afraid to offend someone.
Yep.
Sad days, man.
It is sad. And that's why I said on Sundays when we do the first part of the show, I always want to bring the humor before we get into the serious stuff because sometimes we just need a break from the serious and just be reminded that things suck, but hey, at least there's some funny bits into it, right? Yeah. Like the whole thing with Oceangate. That's kind of funny and messed up in a sick humor sort of way. You've seen all the memes going around about it. It's the best one I just saw recently was it was Obi-Wan Kenobi on Mustafar when Anakin gets burnt up and he's like, you were supposed to see the Titanic, not join them.
Yeah, I voiced my opinion about those memes, man. I get it. I get dark humor and I get everybody, it doesn't matter what it is. Somebody's going to post something out of pocket, but I've voiced my opinion about it, man. I'm not a real big fan of laughing at someone's demise.
Yeah, no.
I'm not a huge fan of that. And I mean, I get it. People do what they want to do. Do you, boo boo? But you know, I've voiced my opinion. A lot of people were acting a little salty.
Yep.
They're rich and
I think people took it a little too far with that, with saying, oh, they're rich, they deserved it, or kind of situation. But that's not me. Like it's the only thing that we can do now with how many things are kind of messed up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the biggest thing that annoys me about this topic is the fact that, well, actually, this is a good video to listen to James Cameron talk about it.
James, I appreciate you joining us. Someone who's devoted his life to exploration as you have in many ways under the sea. I'm wondering what is going through your mind tonight.
Well, thanks, Anderson. I mean, obviously, we're all kind of heartsick from the outcome of this. And I've been living with it for a few days now, as some of my other colleagues in the deep submergence community. I was out on a ship myself when the event happened on Sunday. The first I heard of it was Monday morning. I immediately got on my network because it's, you know, a very small community in the deep submergence group, and found out some information within about a half hour that they had lost comms and they had lost tracking simultaneously. The only scenario that I could come up with in my mind that could account for that was an implosion, a shockwave event so powerful that it actually took out a secondary system that has its own pressure vessel and its own battery power supply, which is the transponder that the ship uses to track where the sub is. So I was thinking implosion then. That's Monday morning. I got on the horn again with some other people, tracked down some intel that was probably of a military origin, although it could have been research, because there are hydrophones all over the Atlantic, and got confirmation that there was some kind of loud noise consistent with an implosion event. That seemed to me enough confirmation that I let all of my inner circle of people know that we had lost our comrades, and I encouraged everybody to raise a glass in their honor on Monday. Then I watched over the ensuing days this whole sort of everybody running around with their hair on fire search, knowing full well that it was futile, hoping against hope that I was wrong, but knowing in my bones that I wasn't. And so it certainly wasn't a surprise today. And I just feel terrible for the families that had to go through all these false hopes that kept getting dangled, you know, as it played out.
Yeah. So that's exactly right. It was a shiny object, like we always talk about. They knew last Sunday, that the Coast Guard did, and the administration knew that they were all dead. They knew that they were gone. They knew an implosion happened because they heard it on sonar. They heard it on their equipment. They know what an implosion sounds like. And they're like, hold on to that. And they just let them and everybody think that they were missing, that they were still alive. They were doing the countdown for their air and everything. But there was like, nope, everything's fine. There's a possibility we could find them. But they already knew they were dead instantly.
Yep, and this is what we talk about all the time. These are the type of games they play with us. You know, they do this on purpose. They had the power to do it. They had the backing to do it. Why not just come out and tell us Sunday? I mean, we know why, but why not just say, hey, we found out they're gone Sunday. Why make us wait until what, Thursday?
Yeah,
Thursday. That was their last day of air. And then you come up Thursday or Wednesday evening or whatever saying, hey, you know, now they're officially gone. But you knew already, man. Why you already knew. Why do you play these mind games with the American people? This is why the American people don't trust you. You guys play these games. But
it's silly.
Another shiny
object.
Silly.
The running idea is the fact that this is the same week that the Biden administration has had multiple things that have gone wrong for them. And one of them being Hunter Biden's, you know, pleading guilty. And everybody, we've already covered this on Savage Patriots. We're not going to rehash that. But just to say this, it ties into the Oceangate thing because they needed that shiny object to distract from the fact that Hunter Biden is getting charged with something, but he's getting a sweetheart of a deal that everybody knows that he's getting a deal that he should not be getting, period. He should be doing time in a felony at the very least.
Oh yeah, you're 100% correct. And I posted a video on TikTok about Oceangate, and I mentioned you, and I was like, if you go back and go to our Rumble episode where we were talking about conspiracies and different conspiracies, Coy mentioned how the Titanic and the Federal Reserve and these big bankers and all these people, and it went down. I was just like, here we are again. On the Titanic, something happens with the Titanic, and then rumor is that the Federal Reserve is probably going away. So I don't know. That's just my conspiracy mind. But it was kind of ironic that we had already talked about it, and then a couple days later, what you was saying on that podcast, people were talking about. So kudos to you.
There's also Karine Jean-Pierre, who is the worst press secretary of all time. I honestly have no idea why she keeps doing this job, but hey, she's okay with it, I guess. Then good on her. She
of your leadership.
This is right after apparently the press has gotten the go ahead to go after the Bidens now. If you haven't noticed, they're not doing defense for him anymore, because I think they're trying to knock him out for 2024. They do not want him to run, and they have to get rid of him somehow. I don't know who they're going to run in his place, though. That's my question. But
Newsom.
They're trying to get rid of him. Newsom, yeah, that would make sense. But yeah, watch this. This is funny, because this is exactly how she acts.
Okay. Kaziki, you want to kick us off?
The House Ways and Means Committee yesterday released documents, their authenticity nowhere challenged. That included a July 2017 WhatsApp message sent by Hunter Biden to Henry Zhao, a Chinese Communist Party official, which stated in its entirety, and I quote, "I am sitting here with my father, and we would like to understand why the commitment made has not been fulfilled. Tell the director that I would like to resolve this now before it gets out of hand, and now means tonight. And Z, if I get a call or text from anyone involved in this other than you, Zhang, or the chairman, I will make certain that between the man sitting next to me and every person he knows, and my ability to forever hold a grudge, that you will regret not following my direction. I am sitting here waiting for the call with my father," unquote. So just a couple of questions about this. First, does this not undermine the president's claim during the 2020 campaign and the reaffirmations of that claim by his two press secretaries since then, that he never
Homer into the
discussed
bushes,
his
slowly
overseas
backing
business
away.
dealings with him?
Okay, great. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye.
And that's exactly what she does. Remember that African?
Yeah, I remember.
Remember, he kept asking these hard questions, and they pretty much banished him
with that really thick African accent too, which is so much better.
And they banished him. They was like, "You can't come back." They kicked him out.
This
is what they do, man. This is typical dictator-ran media. Typical. This is the way dictators operate. People don't think
every single time, man.
Every single time they operate like this. And if people would just open their eyes and see, they would see that they're accepting something that they're going to regret if it goes through fully, because they will regret it.
Exactly.
But it is what it is with Hunter. But did you also hear that Joe Biden had to lawyer up? Did you see that?
I did not see that. Is that new?
Yes, it just came across. Yeah, he had a lawyer up. So what does that tell you?
I mean, these guys always have lawyers on a retainer, but still, I don't know. I don't know where it goes. I know that they're trying to run article. That's also another thing that happened this week is they're sending articles of impeachment to a committee, right? So their big thing. I've been listening to news all weekend about both the Russia thing and this, and one of the things that they're talking about is that they don't want to be like the Democrats. We're going to do it right and proper, right? We're going to send it to committee. We're going to get all the evidence and make sure all our ducks in a row. That's what they're saying. That's basic. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, I know.
But that's essentially what they're saying. It's like, we're going to do it right. We're going to put all our ducks in a row and cross our eyes and toss our tea, and then we'll get them. We'll get them for sure. Yeah. But you're dumb. I hate you so much.
And we always talk about political theater, right? We're like, this is
it's always
more.
political theater.
It's a game, man. And if once people start understanding that this is a game that they're playing, we're just watching it. Though we enjoy watching this show sometime, I know, Coy knows, and a lot of other people I know that this is nothing more than a game. All this talk about Biden ain't nothing going to happen. They might put on a show and put him in front of Congress and all this other stuff. Nothing's going to happen. All this talk about Hunter Biden, nothing's going to happen. He's going to disappear. And I keep saying they're going to keep throwing these shiny objects at us. Next week it'll be.
Oh no, he's not going to disappear because he was at the recent dinner at the White House with all of these famous people, including Garland, who was one charging him this week.
I see, and just like said, they're all buddies, right? They're all friends.
They're all friends.
If Garland is charging him or who's ever, why are they all at the dinner shaking hands? If I despise Joe Biden, his son, for what they did, you would never see me interact with them ever.
Yeah, no. I mean, if you really honestly hated these people, you wouldn't, but you don't.
It's all a game. Get that in your head, America. It's all a game.
It is mind-bogglingly stupid that people actually trust the Republican Party. Like people look at me just like, "Oh, you're a Republican." As nope, I am not, because I know how weak and pathetic and spineless they are. Yeah, it is.
Yep, they are no different. I mean, I always tell people, I said, look at these.
They even have writers and everything.
I was like, yeah, they do. I said, look at these two parties as gangs, right? You got the Bloods and the Crips, the red and the blue.
I actually wrote an article like that.
Yeah, and it's true. You know, or two football teams, right? These two football teams are boxers. Think of any sport. And they'll hype it up, man. They'll hype you up to where they make you think these two people hate each other. And it's all these theatrics and, you know, all this and, oh, they're really going to demolish each other. And then when you get to watch the fight on pay-per-view, it's nothing. And then they're shaking hands and having drinks afterwards. And they tell you that they put on a show. So you got to think of politics the same way. It's lights, camera,
yeah,
action.
Exactly.
You know, they got
so that's actually
and everything.
It was funny that you mentioned that. I actually wrote that.
Awesome. Oh,
like, I don't know. That was like 2018, I think, when I wrote this. And that's exactly what I said.
Oh, good.
The Crips and Blood.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah, no, that was funny. That's actually not the only one. I've got there was another one that I was talking about when it was talking about multicultural supremacy that I wrote as well. I don't know if that's still sharing it. But yeah, that's another thing that I wrote as well. When we're talking about, you know, different things, is like people hating each other. It's all the same. Like, it doesn't matter what tribe you belong to. At any point in time, there's majority privilege, and then there's everybody else. So.
Yeah, and people have to understand the minute these powers to be see a little light of the American people coming together for anything, where they can see that we're unified, they're going to find a way to destroy it. I'm telling you, look, we can come together for Christmas. How do they want to destroy it? Oh, Christmas is offensive. It doesn't matter. Football, they're going to find something to make, you know, to destroy that.
I would take the Christmas debate over any of the other things we have to deal with now.
Yeah,
remember when the Christmas debate was like, kind of, oh, man, this is stupid. Why are we arguing about this? Yeah. But now it's like, I wish I could still argue about Christmas.
Do you guys like, if you want to talk about like shiny objects? So, you know, the way they keep us divided, and one way is, you may not believe it, you may not agree with me, is with all these Disney movies, right? How they're
that's a good one.
Changing the character, changing the race of the character. They're doing that on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they really care if a black person is the Little Mermaid? No, they don't care. They're doing it because they know the uproar is going to cause.
That movie bombed hard, by the way.
Yeah. So Disney is something that everybody can come together and be like, oh, we love Disney movies. They throw something in there, caused immediate division. You know, same thing with Cleopatra. They knew dang well Cleopatra wasn't freaking black. They knew, but they did it on purpose so they can drive a wedge between the American people. You have to pay attention to that stuff. They do it on purpose, and it's just more shiny objects. You'll see something else, but come up next week.
Technically, we have resources available that we can break up political parties, because at the end of the day, they are a for-profit institution. When you really think about it, they're a private institution. They're not a government institution, so they fall under monopoly policies, and they do commit monopolies every single time. Especially what they did to Bernie Sanders is a great example of it, right?
That's right.
So they keep other people, including like libertarians and other parties, out of the system purposely to keep a monopoly. So they still should fall under that rule, but nobody's going to implement it because guess who's in power? The people that are in that institution.
And,
so,
I think we talked about this a couple episodes ago on the other podcast. We talked about how the party, they pretty much need to get rid of the party system.
Yep.
And no one's labeled when they go to debates. Nobody's labeled on the ballot. You have to know the candidate you want to vote for. So if Coy's running, he can't go and say, I'm a Republican. I can't go.
It should be individually based, not party based.
My name is Michael Harris, and here's what I have to offer. Period.
Yep.
My
name is X, and here is my policies. Here's my plan.
You're not allowed to say your party. You're not allowed to say anything. Nobody should know.
Yeah,
that way
there shouldn't be, like I said, there shouldn't be no parties, period. It should be abolished and done with. So it's just individuals running for office, period. Whatever that office might be, it could be for the school board or it could be for the president of the United States. It should only be based on the individual and what they can offer and what plans they have, not about who's backing them.
That's right. And lobbyists.
That's the only way it should be.
But see, the Democrats would be terrified of that because if they weren't,
they wouldn't win.
They wouldn't win because based off their policies and their ideology, a lot more people are conservative than what they think. There's a lot more conservatives. When I mean conservative, they have conservative ideals. A lot of this social stuff, that's all Democrat. That's all leftist, really social issues. So there's a very small, minute part of America that focuses on social issues. The majority of Americans focus on fiscal issues. But when it comes time to vote, they don't give you a choice. They're down the middle, left or right. What do you got? If they get rid of that, most people would vote fiscally, which leans more right,
or they would vote more moderate. So you would get the best candidate out of everybody because you would actually have to choose based on the person and their ideas and not their party platform, because they have to be something in order to be there. Like I said, it's just like you have to. Political parties are the thing that are going to kill this country the most, and the establishment is the biggest one in that. The next thing that is going to kill us is going to be Russia with its nonsense, especially this week. The coup, or you call it a coup. It was supposed to be a uprising, I guess, and then it kind of petered out before it even got started. Like I made the thumbnail for this episode yesterday, and I thought, hey, we're going to talk about a possible civil war, and then it just petered out even before the day was out. So it's like that's nuts. But here, this is going to, if for those of you who aren't aware of what was actually happening, here's kind of a quick up-to-date for you.
Over the past 48 hours, the world has witnessed something truly extraordinary. Russian oligarch Yevgeny Prigozhin, the head of Russia's private military army, the Wagner Group, briefly led a massive armed rebellion after occupying the city of Rostov with minimal resistance. He then struck a deal with the Kremlin, calling off his force of roughly 50,000 mercenaries and agreed to go on exile in Belarus. Although this is a developing situation, here are a few initial takeaways from Prigozhin's failed coup. First, the fact that Putin struck a deal with Prigozhin just moments after calling him a traitor to the motherland is a huge win for the Wagner chief. Very few Russian men have threatened to storm the Kremlin and live to tell the tale. Of course, this is assuming that Prigozhin is still alive by the time you're watching this video. Second, there is an evident leadership vacuum in Moscow. Putin took hours to publicly respond to the crisis, and the Russian army had no desire to put up a serious fight against the rebels. Third, the Russia-led Collective Security Treaty Organization, Moscow's alternative to NATO, which consists of these countries, is not a reliable security alliance. The CSTO did not mobilize any forces to aid Russia in ending the rebellion. Instead, the president of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, took it upon himself to lead the negotiations with Prigozhin. Lastly, there is always a small probability that the coup was staged by the Kremlin in order to relocate Wagner forces to Belarus and strike Ukraine from the north when everyone least expects it. Admittedly, this is in the realm of speculation, but Ukraine forces would be wise to closely monitor the movement of Wagner troops in the coming days and be on high alert for the unexpected.
Yeah, I don't think that's true though.
No, none of it is. I mean, you got to think about the Kremlin. Think about Moscow, right? Do you think a guy like Vladimir Putin would just allow 25,000 dudes to come in and just take over? No. The Russian army is huge. Plus, he has the Chechens, right? Them dudes are brutal.
They're crazy.
Here's what I think happened. I think he just bamboozled us. So
it might, maybe. I think that's part of it.
Okay, so you know that $6.2 billion of unaccounted for money that the Pentagon lost. They probably paid this Wagner group. Putin staged all of this. They paid this guy, and then he's like, "All right, give the money to Putin." And then Putin's over there shaking his hand, and Putin actually said he's not going to do anything to him. He said, "I forgive him."
Yeah, it's funny because this is in the same week. Right, this happens in the same week that they have extra $6.2 billion that goes unaccounted for, right? Because of an accounting error. Well, I'm sure it wasn't an error. And as we always say, and we've said on the Savage Patriots, if you look at where the money is and where it's going, you'll probably understand what's happening. So this is a pretty good video that it kind of explains part of that.
That's true.
Have you seen this one? It's funny.
Oh shit!
That is
right. So if you're listening to this, is rebel mercenaries turned back short of Moscow to avoid bloodshed. CIA director, after seeing the Wagner group, decided to just pocket the money instead of continuing the coup in Russia.
That's right. And I think they only got within 200 kilometers of Moscow.
Of Moscow, yeah.
Yeah, and then he turned around. It was all a game, man. There was actually guys out there, man. I was following this dude. He was actually tracking the Wagner group.
They were doing open source intelligence through Google Maps, yeah.
Yep.
I saw that.
He was actually tracking them. I was just like, interesting. So I believe
it is interesting.
Here's what I believe. My opinion. We were bamboozled.
Yep.
Putin played us like fools. That Wagner guy, whatever his name, Provanjovich, whatever his name is, him and Putin.
Prigozhin, yeah.
They were like this, dude.
Was known as Putin's chef. That's how they've been friends for a long time.
A long time, and I doubt he would.
That's why it seemed like such a big portrayal, because of how he reacted to it. I don't think he expected it, at least not initially. And here's another video explaining what basically happened in terms of the deal that they reached.
All right, so we're getting a little bit of an idea as to what terms were reached between Prigozhin and Putin. So it sounds like Prigozhin will relocate to Belarus, and all charges against him will be dropped, which means he's probably going to be looking over his shoulder for the rest of his life. Any Wagner fighters that took part in this insurrection will be pardoned, and any Wagner fighters that did not take part will be absorbed into the Ministry of Defense. Nothing yet in terms of leadership changes at the top of the Russian military, but Defense Minister Shoigu and the Chief of the General Staff, Gerasimov, have been noticeably absent over the last 24 hours, really since this whole thing kicked off. And personal opinion here, but I wouldn't be shocked if either or both of them are all of a sudden in different positions in the very near future. It's just those two.
Yeah. So...
Well, it's ironic that how America and most of the Western countries all of a sudden love an insurrection.
Yeah, I know, right? Love an insurrection as long as it's not happening to us.
Yeah, they love an insurrection. They'll pay for that insurrection as long as it's not happening to the suit and ties here.
That's exactly what I thought when I heard it was happening. Is like I said, that $60 billion. I think Prigozhin got paid by the CIA to start a coup. He had been stockpiling weapons and ammunition before this actually happened. He started doing it, and there's one or two things that happened. Either it actually scared Putin, or they made a deal where they split the money. And he got part of it, and he gets to go retire in Belarus, and Putin gets a nice fat check to continue the war.
That's right.
So either way, they got something out of it.
But if that is true, which I believe what you're saying is true, Putin just stuck a thumb in America's eye. You know why? Because who is that money supposed to go to?
Yeah, Ukraine, probably. Supposed to, anyway.
And if it comes out of this guy, I can't even say his name. You know who I'm talking about.
Prigozhin. Yeah.
Prigozhin, if he comes out and says, yes, the American CIA gave me that money. Imagine if he came out and said that.
Yep.
That would.
Well, that's why Prigozhin's probably going to die soon, because like either it really happened and Putin kills him, or the CIA does.
I doubt
to keep him quiet.
Putin's not going to kill him, man. I'm telling you.
But he's dead either way. It doesn't matter. Like, see,
yeah.
Here's the thing: if it is exactly how the administration says it is, right? Then, regardless of if they got something out of it or not, Putin looks like a fool, and his power is weakened substantially because of this. Now, if that is what actually happened, I'm right, and they pocketed the money together, then we just help Putin secure more funds for the war, right? And we just gave aid to somebody we're fighting ourselves, which wouldn't be the first time we've done that before.
Yeah.
In terms of insurrections and rebellions and civil wars, right? Yeah. Wouldn't be the first time.
I mean, I can see, and maybe, they gave the money to him because, America loves coups, man. They love it. Yeah. They love a good old coup. Look what they did.
You sent me this video, and it's exactly right.
They love a good old coup.
This is also one of the reasons why I dislike the Republican Party, is this right here.
Senator Graham, after that very newsworthy press conference yesterday, the Russian ambassador came out and accused you and Blumenthal of essentially inciting nuclear war. How do you respond to him?
Well, Dick and I didn't move any tactical nuclear weapons to Belarus. So the bottom line is Putin is playing a game. Every time we want to send any weapon, that's going to be World War III. If you send in tanks, that's a new game. If you do the HIMARS, every time we try to help Ukraine evict the Russians, they threaten the West. Here's what I think is real. According to President Biden, the use of a tactical nuclear weapon by Russia is becoming a more real scenario as Ukraine gains momentum on the battlefield. So I'm letting the Russian generals know, if you follow the order of Putin to blow up the nuclear facility, the plant, to radiate Europe, or you drop a tactical nuclear weapon to turn around the war you're losing, I consider that attack on NATO, and Senator Blumenthal, a Democrat, agrees. You cannot irradiate half of Europe and expect NATO to sit on the sidelines. So it's a warning to the generals that if you follow this order, then all hell is going to fall on Russian soldiers inside of Ukraine.
What should the red line be for President Biden for America? There are some reports that chemical weapons may have already been used, will be used. Where's the red line? When should America respond?
Well, I think if you do anything to attack neighboring countries, an attack on NATO would be what? Having a radioactive cloud fly over the country and, destroy the quality of life. This idea of using a nuclear weapon to turn around a conventional loss on the battlefield is getting real. Moving the weapons into Belarus, he's testing us at every turn. So Dick and I, Blumenthal, are trying to say checkmate to the Russian generals. Go down this road at your own peril. They're losing on the battlefield. Their ability to decapitate the Kyiv government fails spectacularly. Now they're losing ground every day. Over time, I think the Ukrainians are going to break through to Mariupol, and the Russians are going to be cut off from their supply routes inside of Ukraine, inside of Crimea. And we live in a dangerous world, but I just want the Russians to know that if you explode a nuclear weapon in Ukraine, the effects will be all over Europe, NATO nations, and you will be at war with NATO.
Yeah, so, I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't trust him. I don't trust the media. I don't trust I don't trust Lindsey Graham at all. So anything that comes out of his mouth is bull crap. What he's doing, he's telling us exactly what's going
to happen.
Yeah. He's telling us that this is what whoever, America, NATO, this is what they're going to do. They're going to be the ones to blow it up. They're going to be the ones to set it off. And then we're just going to blame Russia. And all the American people and everybody in the West will just believe it because they're little sheep and they'll believe whatever we tell them. Don't believe them. Do not believe him.
There are too many coincidences There's too many coincidences that have happened in the last few years for that to not be a warning of what's about to happen. And that scares me. It really does. Like, giving these people power is absolutely insane. There's too many war hawks in Washington that want to keep us in perpetual war in the United States. We've already done perpetual war for 20 years. We know that. We've been in it, both you and I. We're done with that. We want some peace and damn quiet for once. That's all we really want. Like we were talking about in the beginning of the program, where we're looking at these nostalgic videos, and it's like, when have we been at peace, right? When have we been happy since pre 9/11? Like, name a time, right? You can't pick one, because the last 20 some odd years has yet to be peaceful for anybody, especially for millennials. And we're sick of it, man. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, and then the war drums are always going to keep beating, man. And they've always been wanting to go after Russia. They've been talking about Russia for years. They want China too, because those are two nations that don't toe the line. They don't toe the line. They're not going to let some outside influence come in their country and tell them how this is going to be ran. I mean, how would America feel if Russia was the more powerful than us? And Russia was dictating what we do in our country. They'd be like, you will get rid of your nukes and you will do this, or we're going to have sanctions on you. America be ready to go.
And nobody would like that, especially
they wouldn't like
in America. So to bring back Carol's question, she asked if you think the military would obey orders if Biden calls martial law here. Unfortunately, probably. Like, the realest answer I can give you is probably.
I don't know.
The way the institutions are and things are going, I have no doubt in my mind that there would be some. And that's the problem. There would be somebody.
I think they would start off doing it initially, because it'd be talked about like it's a humanitarian mission. Go out and help your fellow Americans.
For humanitarian
feel
needs.
Good, hey, hearts and minds, humanitarians, and then Americans will start revolting. And now that American service member, what's he going to do? Multiple times, I'm not shooting an American citizen. Guess who comes in and be like, well, since you guys won't do it, we'll bring in some people that will. That's when you start seeing foreign troops on our land, man. And then our troops would take a back seat. They would still be there, but they would take a back seat to the engagement, just like we did in Iraq and Afghanistan. Yeah, the local nationals were there, but we were the main driving force of it all. We told them what to do.
At that point, if that actually happened, it would be beyond saving anyway.
Hey, I guess there'd be a lot of dotted up blue helmets walking around.
Probably, but that's definitely a Rumble episode that we can bring up on Savage Patriots.
I mean, like the dotted, I dot my blue helmet up because I have one.
Exactly. So to kind of finish it off in a happy note, without all this doom and gloom, I want to talk about the Mark Zuckerberg Elon Musk fight. I think it's going to happen. I think it's a real thing. They've been talking about this. There's a clip of Dana White talking about this that I'm going to bring up, and I think it really says it all and how serious this actually is going to be. So we might actually see a real life celebrity death match. You remember the claymation stuff from back in the day? Love that show. I wish they'd bring it back. But yeah, here we go.
Can we be excited about this? Is there a possibility this is really going to happen?
Well, just to give some clarification. So what he said is Mark Zuckerberg responded with "send me location," which is something that Habib Nurmagomedov says when people challenge him. So that was what "send me location" meant. And I was talking to both Elon and Mark last night. Both guys are absolutely dead serious about this.
Now, wait. Tell us why you say that.
Because they both said, yeah, we'll do it. They both want to do it. Mark Zuckerberg hit me up first and said, is he serious? And I said, I don't know. Let me ask him. I asked him and he said, yeah, I'm dead serious. Obviously and I agree with you, Harvey, this would be the biggest fight ever in the history of the world. Bigger than anything that's ever been done. It would break all pay-per-view records. These guys would raise hundreds of millions of dollars for charity. And, you don't have to be a fight fan to be interested in this fight. Everybody would want to see it.
So
as long as it's a fight to the death, I'd watch it.
Yeah, I would watch it too. But like I wish, like I said, I wish this was the biggest news that we had to talk about this week, right? Like, I wish this was the only thing happening, and then this is what everybody's talking about. But no, we have all the other BS that we got to deal with. But back to this point, I also think that it'll be an interesting fight because Mark Zuckerberg is a small guy. He's 5'7", right? And Elon Musk is 6'2". They are different weight classes as well. And I think Elon's got the reach, but I think Mark Zuckerberg's got the training involved because he's actually been training before. I got a couple of videos to show you on that. So it's actually pretty crazy. So, like, he's actually been doing jiu-jitsu training himself for a while. And he's actually done some tournaments as well for that.
I don't like watching lizard people.
I know lizard people will go at it. Yeah, so like I said, he's actually been training this entire time for himself. Now, whether he actually has any power behind his hits, I don't know. But
he just
we'll see.
Weird.
He does
the whole
look weird.
Time his eyes are open.
Oh, lizard dude. I think you're right about that. That he like Elon's face when he turns into a lizard man and just like trounces them in the ring is gonna be great.
Yeah, you'll see. His skin's gonna fall off, and you're gonna see the real Mark.
Right. The which is really funny. Like some people have made fun of him and saying that there was like was it a picture or an animatronic that looked more human than Mark Zuckerberg actually looked? Or no, it was Yeah, it was crazy. It's like that thing looks better than Mark Zuckerberg does.
He probably does have a cyborg man that stands in for him when he goes to like Congress and all that. Thing walks in
like he doesn't want to do it. It's like just send the robot.
Yeah, just send a robot. I got a date tonight, and the robot just sits there like, and he's over there controlling it, eating Cheetos.
That is true. What if Elon's got the chip and he's got like limitless potential? You know, like the movie Limitless. Yeah. He's just like he got it. He can. Yeah. He's all doing the crap, what did I think of it? Robert Downey Jr. and Sherlock Holmes, right? He's all like breaking it down by like milliseconds and all that stuff.
All right, he's gonna swing left. He's gonna go down. I'm gonna turn right, and at 1.2
exactly.
Seconds, he's gonna go, and he's just gonna be like, and everything gonna be in slow motion.
Honestly, that would actually be cool. A cool reason to get the chip implanted in your brain, just so you can have really cool fights like that. Is like milliseconds. Like you could think ahead, and you're like, slow motion. Be great.
I think the wager should be. The other person gets your whole platform.
Exactly. It's winner take all. Like pink slip fight.
Elon wins, he gets Facebook and freaking Instagram. If Zucker, whatever his name is, Zuckerberg wins,
he gets Twitter.
He gets who cares about Twitter?
Yeah, it's like he gets Twitter, right? If like it's a winner take all fight, it's like if Elon gets Facebook and Instagram, and then like he puts up or maybe it's Instagram for Twitter, right? So like they could do that instead. So like he can keep Facebook, but he's got to put up Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah,
like, it'd be good for him.
You can have Instagram. Everybody would leave it anyway, but Twitter would be a shit show.
Right? It's like here, have this burning pile of crap.
Elon would
be
turn
good stuff.
Around, though. I think
Elon will eventually get it.
I think eventually make it like another TikTok to get TikTok off.
I think he's eventually going to make it that way, but we'll have to see. But I know we're over, but I just wanted to bring that last thing up and get us going. We are going to be here live Sunday at 6 as every week. We are also Monday, Wednesday, Friday at the Savage Patriots for all of you fine folk that watch us over there and join in over here. I appreciate you. I appreciate it a lot. And as always, you can go to our link tree down in the description below. Go to Instagaming, and you can save some money on your games, up to 90% off. It helps us, helps the show. So you can do that. Be grateful. Very grateful for that. And try to have some hope. Final thoughts, Michael, before we head out?
Hey, make sure you guys are checking out my cooking. I just did French food today, a French cuisine. I made chicken fricassee and ratatouille.
I'm gonna find that mudfish and rice for you to try.
My mudfish, yes, I did.
God,
if you follow me on TikTok, I did do a mudfish challenge. So, but majority of people said no. So, a lot of people.
Majority said no. I'm still gonna get it and send it to you and make you do it. Like it'd be funny. You could send something to me to do too, and then I'll record it. It'd be fun.
And also,
make sure like send each other something.
Make sure you guys go to our Facebook page. I'll post a mudfish video on my Facebook page. The Facebook page is on Facebook, the Hooch Podcast. And keep showing up. We're gonna keep talking anyway.
Oh yeah. So Carol's asking the name of the channel.
Which one? Oh, am I cooking? It's the Bro Kitchen guy. The Bro Kitchen. It's on Facebook. Just search the Bro Kitchen. I'm the only one.
Yeah. So that's where you can find him.
Yeah, the Bro Kitchen guy. The same.
Or you can follow his TikTok too, which is in our link tree in the description below. So like the link tree that we have down there has all of our links to all of our socials. You just got to go down there, click on it, and you can find everything that you need all in one place.
Is it updated?
I don't know. I don't know if I think your old one is your band one is on there.
Yeah, that's
so I'll have to get that updated. But yeah, as always, we love you, American. We'll see you next week. So we are
out.
No.
According to your Facebook page, we aren't friends.